What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. It is Drinks After Work with your girl, Shelly Nicole. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody had a great day. Happy Monday. This weekend was a very cleaning weekend, a purging weekend. Like, I threw out so much shit. I'm not even gonna hold you. I threw out so much stuff this weekend. Like, a lot of clothes that like, as you get older, like, just certain things no longer resonate with you. Like, your style changes, your hair changes, wink, 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 wink. Your hair changes, your style changes. Things that you once, liked back then, you no longer like. And it's just, a bunch of purging. So I got rid of so many clothes. I got rid of so many sneakers. I'm a sneakerhead, but I'm really more into comfort than I have been into like style. Don't get me wrong. I'm not out here wearing Skechers and shit, but nothing wrong with Skechers. Sorry for people who wear Skechers. I'm just saying it's not my style. Anyway, it's, just things changing. So I got rid of my a lot of my sneakers. I got rid of a lot of my heels. My super big, tall, 6-inch, 5-inch heels. Baby, when I tell you I used to be strutting down the street in the clubs with them things on, I used to. Keyword, used to, in capital letters. Because now, baby, give me a kitten. Kitten heel, 2-inch, 3-inch. No, okay, let me not play myself. Maybe not 2 inches. But 3.5, 4, I'm good at. But 5, 6, them big things that I used to be wearing, I ain't wearing those no more. Break my neck. Anything that like has no comfort on the sole of your foot, I got rid of that. Got rid of all of those. I got rid of some of my coats. I basically put it down, like, so in my building, a lot of us normally put things that we no longer want. We put it down in the lobby and we just put a sign that says please take. So that's what I did. I had a whole bin, and I just put on the top of the bin, take whatever you want. And I put women's sneakers, shoes, jackets, coats. And the moment I put it down there, I go back down there, it's gone. So I don't know who has a camera, who sees it, but they just take the whole thing and then they do whatever they want. So nonetheless, that's what I did this weekend. I cleaned, I mopped, I dusted, I vacuumed, you would have thought it was spring cleaning, but it's technically fall cleaning, getting ready for winter, because when it gets cold and snowy, I just don't even want to be bothered. So I did like a whole thing. I dusted my walls. I don't even know if people really do that, but I did that. I dust the walls. I wipe them down. You won't believe how much dust is on your walls, honestly. The back of the TV. It's just crazy to me, because you think like, you do like little Saturday cleanings and you think you're actually doing something and you're making headway. Baby, you ain't making not a single headway. You still got dust behind the TV. My mother would be so proud if she saw how clean my apartment is right now, like super clean. I'm not saying that I'm messy, but I really went in and really like made sure I got everything out. So nonetheless, that was my weekend. Watched football, and yeah, that was it. A lot of writing. Went to church, well, virtual church, obviously. I don't think I ever told you guys, but my church is actually the Lighthouse Church. So I actually watch 2 churches. I watch 2 sermons. I watch the Potter's House on YouTube, and I watch the Lighthouse Church. Mostly Lighthouse Church with Pastor Keon Henderson. But Potter's House has Pastor Sarah Jake Roberts, and sometimes Bishop T.D. Jakes. He will speak as well during the sermon, but I did watch the Lighthouse Church. Every message is always good. I also watch Jerry Flowers too, but I don't watch his church sermons. I usually just watch highlights and Therapy Thursday that he has. So if you haven't done that, I think you should. I honestly feel like it definitely helps, especially if you're on your spiritual journey. Look at his YouTube channel, Jerry Flowers. Did I say Jeremy Flowers? I feel like I said Jeremy Flowers. It's Jerry Flowers. Sorry. His podcast And he has Therapy Thursday, and he just talks about certain things. I think this one is like more so about relationships. I didn't watch this last Thursday. I have to catch up and watch that. But this Thursday, if you get notifications, it tells you, exactly what he's actually talking about. So nonetheless, that was my weekend. Again, I didn't do much of nothing. Worked, clean. Yeah, girl stuff. So today's episode is laying down your ground rules. Now, basically, it goes back to what I had spoke about in season 1, where I said having your boundaries and not letting anybody cross your boundaries. I think the one thing that I've learned in my singleness is, and not even just my singleness, but just in my growth, that you always have to have boundaries in every relationship that you have, whether it's friendship, familyship, that's not even a word, but whatever, familyship, intimate relationships. You really have to have boundaries with everyone, and you have to know what you expect and what is either a trigger or what you're okay with and what you're not okay with in every area of your life. So this basically came up as well because I had seen a video. I don't think anybody sent it to me. I think I was just on Instagram and the reel had popped up, and this lady said that she was going through a divorce. And the reason why she was going through a divorce after being with her husband for I don't know how many years, honestly, I don't recall what she said, but she was going through a divorce with her husband because her husband didn't live up to her expectations. Now, bear with me. Again, if you follow my Instagram, you've seen the video and you saw that I posted it. And then I asked the question, is she bugging, or is she right in how she feels? And 100% of everybody said she's a weirdo. She's bugging. And again, everybody has their own stipulations, their own rules. But nonetheless, sometimes some of the rules that some of us women and men make you sound real dumb. And it gives very much so confused. It gives very much so you're not really thinking, you're just talking out the side of your mouth. And when I watched that interview, she was talking out the side of her mouth. Literally. Probably the back of her head. Because how can you honestly sit here and say that? So her thing was, she was divorcing her husband because I think he had lost his job, and she laid it down, again, ground rule, that she wanted to have a provider. And I guess the money that he was making was great. She never had to touch a bill. She never had to pay for anything. But economy is economying. Life is lifing. And he was laid off, or he was fired from his job. So nonetheless, he asked her as his wife, hey, would you take care of the bills while I'm down right now? And she basically, I guess, like had an attitude, if you want to say, because she was asked to take care of what in her mind, and in a lot of us women, our minds, that a man is supposed to take care of all the bills in the household. If you're thinking, traditional wise, or if you're thinking a man who is going to provide 100% financially and you don't touch a bill, for her, that's what her stipulations were in them meeting. And, obviously he was able to do that. But because, like I said, life was life and he lost his job. All right, whatever. So apparently she was able to take care of the bills. And it was about like a month or 2 months where they didn't have he wasn't in a job. And then he eventually found a job. She then asked him, after he got the job, his new said job, are you going to pay me back? Since I paid all the bills and I, kept us afloat for this month or 2 months that you didn't have a job, are you going to pay me back? And he looked at her like, no, why would I pay you back? And I guess that triggered her, like, oh, hell no, I'm not dealing with this. And she asked for a divorce. When I saw that video, I'm not going to hold you, it made my teeth, like, it just made me cringe. Like, miss what? What are you, huh? This man can do everything for you. He provides for you outside of financially, because given where he is right now with his circumstances, or at that time, he can do everything else. That's probably part of the reason why you married him, outside of the fact that he had money. But because it was out of his control that the job let him go, you gonna dip on him? To me, that's weird. To me, that's like, huh? Like, what? Like, you're not for real, miss. You cannot be for real. And then there'll be the same type of women who sit here and say, I'm not in the relationship for money. I'm not in it for just transactional purposes. No, but you clearly are, though. Because a part of being a provider, which I feel like a lot of us forget, especially during this time in us dating and in this moment in life when it comes to relationships, a lot of people are equating relationships with money. If you can't take care of me financially, and that means paying for my nails, my hair, my wax appointment, my lashes, if you can't pay for just my maintenance, there's nothing for us to talk about. Baby, wasn't you just paying for your maintenance just a minute ago? So what are you talking about? See, I could be different. I might be a different breed. That's just me. I've always liked my hair and my nails done. I've learned to braid my own hair. I've learned to do my own hair as I've gotten throughout I think I started braiding my own hair back in like middle school. I want to say I was like in the 6th grade, 7th grade. And my older cousin, she used to braid my hair a lot. But when she wasn't around, because she was in high school or towards the end of high school and she was about to go to college, I learned, and by watching her and my mother also teaching me and my grandmother how to braid. So I started braiding my own hair. But I could throw some box braids in my hair. I could throw some cornrows in my hair. I can put a wig on. I know how to. I don't do it correct. I don't do it just like the best. But laying a wig down, I know how to do all of that. But I always got my nails done. But that was a part of my own maintenance. I started to like lashes. I started getting my lashes done. I learned how to do lashes. My maintenance was always my maintenance, regardless if I have a man or not. So having that be oh, well, it's a requirement that he pays for it. It's going to happen regardless or not. If he really fucks with you and he really likes you, he's going to pay for it. He's going to know, okay, how much is your maintenance bill for the month? $500? All right, cool. So here's $800. Hold the rest of that for the next time, or if something else happens, and go get and do what you got to do to keep your maintenance up. That's just going to come with it. But I feel like a lot of the times now, like I was saying before, we equate relationships with transactional. And if you can't, and we think that just being a provider means just having money. A guy can have all the money in the world, but he could be a douchebag. A guy can have all the money in the world and be emotionally not available to you. A guy can have all the money in the world and hit on you. Like literally beat your ass. Like, I don't understand, and I never did. And again, it's not for me to understand, and this is not a platform to criticize, but it's more of a platform to speak on things that I don't think people really realize and take accountability for, right? But stop trying to make everything transactional. And she basically made her marriage transactional. You can no longer provide for me in a sense of giving me money and taking care of the household bills, then I don't want to be with you, because nowhere was it ever recorded that I needed to pay for the electricity bill, the mortgage, they probably, if they have a house, the HOA fee, all this other stuff that may come with their bills. I never said I signed up for that. And that's what she said. I never signed up for that. You signed up for you to be with this man through thick and thin, through richer for poor, in sickness and health. I'm confused. Did you just sit here and say this before God, but then not mean it? I'm confused. Like, what? So what was the what was the point? Baby, you could have just got yourself a sugar daddy and called it a day. Like, what if you want a provider? A sugar daddy will provide for you too. You may have to drop the drawers, but not for all of them. Like, some of them you may not have to. Some of them you may be okay with, and you could just have go on a nice little dinner date. Oh, and by the way, before I continue, what I am drinking on, I keep saying I have to remind myself to say what it is that I'm drinking on. But what I'm drinking on tonight is Santa Carolina. It is a red wine, El Prosecco. It's not Prosecco. Don't come for me. But it's a red wine. It's a red wine. 2002 made. A Charmier. I think it's called a Charmier. Not a Cabernet. It's not a Merlot. It's called a Charmier. It's really good. Hold on. I'm reading the back of it. Not saying anything. It's really good. Nonetheless, it's imported from London. Okay. Nice. So I guess you can get this at any of your liquor stores. It's really good. It's really smooth. Doesn't give you a headache. I've had this before, so that's a good thing. I'm really big on like wine and stuff that does not give you a headache, because baby, I can't. I should be able to have a glass or two or three, depending the day, and not wake up with a hangover. Like, seriously. But this is actually good. So it's called Santa Carolina, and I will be posting it on Instagram, and you guys can get that at your local store. So, like I was saying, laying down your ground rules, and basically want to keep this nice, short and sweet and to the point. And again, you guys have the opportunity to, voice your opinion on the live. I know I have been slacking with my lives. Last week, I was just so tired, and I kept saying like, yeah, I'm gonna get on. And yeah, sleep won. So I would just not log on when I was supposed to. But nonetheless, I will be on Wednesday and Friday. Not Friday. I won't be on Friday. So I am going to make it a point to be on Wednesday, so I can hear your opinion and what you guys think. And if you guys have ever been in a situation where it has actually caused you to rethink your relationship, like, girl or guy, like, what you talking about? Like, you can only be with me if I can provide for you financially. So the question is, and again, you guys can comment and also have your questions ready, but also comment on the Instagram. You can do that as well. Underneath the comments, what are some of your ground rules in a relationship, your non-negotiables? And I think for myself, when I was answering this question, I had to really think about it, because if I'm being completely transparent, which I always say that you have to be when you're on this podcast, that I didn't really have non-negotiables when I was dating, like when I was in my younger year. I mean, I'm not that old, but in my early 20s, I really didn't have any non-negotiables. I was so chilled on being the laid back type of girl that I never really paid attention to the fact that you do need to lay down some rules. Like, you do need to have some things that you're not okay with, because you can't just be laid back and be okay with everything. Because if that's the case, everybody's going to do what they want to do, and then you're just going to have to deal with it. And then before you know it, you're going to be stressed out because that's not something that you actually like. So as I got older, I put down the ground rules, and a lot of it came from experience, from other, me dating, having relationships, and me seeing what was really out there, but also what I just saw other people having to deal with. And I'm just like, baby, you got to deal with that. Like, oh no, I don't want to have to deal with this. This is not something that I'm thinking about. It's not something that I want. And I really had to come to an understanding and come to my senses, for real. But nonetheless, one of my ground rules and my reasonable expectations in a relationship, mutual trust. Like, we have to have mutual trust within each other. I understand everybody has baggage from their old relationships. I understand everybody has trauma from their old relationships. And if that's the case, and if that's something that you're dealing with, you should go to therapy, or you should be hitting the gym. You should be hitting the gym regardless. I mean, fuck a relationship. You should just be hitting the gym just because. I feel like having mutual trust is very big. If you cannot trust the person who you're with, then there's no reason for you guys to just continue to date each other. Again, going back to the whole everybody has issues from their past. I don't believe that you should bring in your past issues with your new relationship. I understand it's going to be in the back of your head. I get that. I operate in that same sense. But you cannot hold on to the fact that you think that that's the only thing. Like, oh, this is going to happen. It happened in my last one, so it's going to happen in this one. If that's how you're going to enter into a new relationship, stop dating. Figure your shit out. Let go. Heal yourself. And then bring yourself back to the possibility of dating someone again. Once you've decided, like, okay, you know what? I can let that go and I can move on from it. If you're still struggling with it, it's understandable. But that means you haven't given yourself enough time to be by yourself, that you automatically bring that into the new relationship like a month or 2 months in. It doesn't even have to take that long. Like, it happens from the beginning. And if you can't see yourself not speaking about it from the jump, you don't need to be dating. Stay to yourself. The second thing is equal commitment to creating a passionate relationship. I hate one-sided relationships. I mean, I think everybody does, but I hate one-sided relationships. Like, if I feel like I'm doing more to make anything happen, whether that be us going on a date, us communicating, trying something different, reaching out, keeping our relationship going. Again, it doesn't have to be an intimate relationship. It can be friends. It could be family. If I feel and find myself doing more work and constantly asking, hey, when, how, and when are you available? When are you available? Can we do this? How about this? How about that? And I'm getting nothing back from you, I'm going to start to pull back. And before I never did. Before I kept like trying to push it. Like, okay, so let's try this. Okay, let's try that. And the response I always got was, okay, cool, whatever you want to do. Okay, cool, whatever you want to do. And a lot of the times when that is the response and there is no kickback, or there is no, and it doesn't have to be a negative kickback either, but there is no, opinion about what should happen in that relationship, then you're in a one-sided relationship. It's not going to work. The passion is not there with them. They don't care. They're not there. They've checked out. And they can sit here and say that they haven't, but they have. To me, they've checked out. The third thing, and actually I feel like this should be my first thing, but the third thing is the shared affection and appreciation. Baby, let me tell you something real quick. If you're not all over me, if you're not like obsessed, not sickly obsessed, but like if you're not obsessed with saying like, yeah, that's my girl, that's my baby, that's her, that's my wife, don't talk to me. Because I can my man all the time, but if I don't hear you saying my woman, what are we doing? We gotta have mutual. There has to be a mutual. See how I said mutual trust? There has to be a mutual affection, mutual appreciation. I see you doing things for me. I'm going to tell you, sweetheart, I thank you for doing this, baby. Thank you for doing that for me. I appreciate you. I see what you're doing. I'm proud of you. And ladies, please, for the life of us, can we stop acting like these men should not get the flowers that they are deserved when I'm saying this in caps, in bold, italic too, when they deserve it. If you see them putting in the work, if you see what they're doing, if you see that they're giving you everything that you're asking for, if they're being affectionate, they're emotionally intelligent, they're able to communicate, they're buying you whatever it is that you're asking for. They give you flowers randomly. They're taking you out on dates. They're doing things to show you that I love you. I care about you. Thank you for what you've done for me. You better reciprocate that damn energy. Because just don't think for a hot second of a hot cone. That sounds real southern, right? Don't think for a second that you are the only woman that he can do this for, because you're not. I don't care how good your coochie is. I don't care how good your head is. I don't care how good you can lay it down in the bedroom. I don't care. Just because you have all of these other good qualities of yourself, it can really hurt a man when we don't sit here and tell them that we appreciate what they have done for us. And again, when they have done, because a lot of y'all men gonna try yourselves, when y'all have shown us and given us exactly what it is that we want, because that's a part of it. Being a provider, not just financially, which old girl should have understood, but showing me that you can handle other things outside of just buying me things, that you are emotionally there for me, that I can speak to you about anything, that if the world is driving me crazy, I come to you and it all silent. It's quiet. You know what I mean? Like, if he is giving you what you're asking for outside of money, tell him that you appreciate it. There's nothing wrong with that. Be affectionate to him. If he's constantly all over you, be all over him too. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with you holding your man's hand. There's nothing wrong with you grabbing, massaging his shoulders. I was going to say something else. Don't do that. Well, you could do it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. There's nothing wrong with you, again, showing your affection. You want to be kissed all over. They want to be kissed all over too. They act like they don't, because that's just, how society, when I say we, society has made men feel like they cannot express the affection that they want. A lot of them probably never had it growing up. But nonetheless, if they see the woman that they love giving it to them, a lot of the times they'll open up. They'll let they will let their guard down, and they will allow you to love them the way that they should and the way that they're supposed to. But again, shared affection and appreciation, it cannot be one-sided, because then it's going to start to feel like a job. Like, ain't no way. Like, how you can sometimes go to your job and you be putting in all this work, and you are just like busting your ass each day getting things done. Whether it's a meeting, writing up paperwork, getting, with my job, getting people through, like just handling multiple things that are required of you at the job, being on point, coming into work on time, whatever it is, right? Sometimes, majority of the time, 9.5 times out of 10, you're not going to get that appreciation from your job. And you're just going to know that, this is something I have to stick with because it's paying my bills for the time, but I can go and find me another one. It has to feel, you have to have, you're not expecting that appreciation from that job, because it's more than likely not going to happen. But the person who you're in love with, the person who you're sharing your body with, the person who you're sharing your soul with, your house with, maybe your food with, you want them to feel appreciated. You want them to see that, hey, she said thank you for that. She sees me doing that. I'm gonna keep doing it because she's acknowledged it. Or he's seen me doing this and he appreciates it and he said it, so I'm gonna keep doing it. And if you don't know how to do it, talk to someone who knows how to maneuver in that area. Maybe you never seen affection in your household. That's fine. Again, there's so many ways for us in today's society to find people who have healthy or have seen healthy relationships, or who have worked past their toxic ways and now they're in healthy marriages or healthy relationships or healthy friendships. Again, it doesn't have to be intimate. Healthy friendships, healthy family ships. That I just came up with this word. Don't come for me. That's not even a word, but just healthy relationships, period. And they've worked through it, and they've probably went to counseling. They probably had an internal feeling like, this is how you do this. This is what you need to do in order to make that happen. You know what I mean? The people who have changed and people who have done the work, really. But there are more, but I won't say more now. I will leave it for my live session on Wednesday at 6 p.m. But again, laying down the ground rules, making sure you have those ground rules set when you first start dating, letting people know what you expect, but also be realistic. Understand that life is going to happen. Understand there are things that are out of your control. There are things that are out of his or her control, depending on who you're dating and depending on your preference. But if there are things that you are willing to say, you know what, hey, it's okay, I can work with this, then that's fine. And a person losing their job should be one of them, as long as they have that ambition to keep going. They may be down for a little bit. They may have a day or two where they're just sad and they just don't know what happened, and they may be a little bit depressed. But that's when you're supposed to jump in and be the 100%, because they're at 0% right now. But if you see that they start to have that motivation to come back, to be like, you know what, let me get this work. Let me figure this out. Let me start putting in applications again. Let me start putting in resumes again. Or let me fix my resume, and let me start putting myself out there. Let me start, finding jobs again. If you see the ambition and the motivation to find another job, you could hold it down. POP, you could hold it down. Ain't nothing wrong with you doing it for a little bit. It becomes real selfish and it becomes real materialistic when you say things like what this young lady said about she wanted to get a divorce because she now had to be the provider financially when her husband lost his job. That's fucked up. But it happens. It happens probably more than we know. But I thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys have a great week ahead. I cannot believe it, but Thanksgiving is next week. I literally just had to look at my calendar like, wait a freaking minute. Thanksgiving is next week. So, yeah. I hope you guys got your turkeys. I hope you guys got your, what y'all eat, whatever y'all eating. I know some people are changing up their diet, but the turkey, the mac and cheese, the collard greens, the ham hocks, all of that, everything, sweet potato pie, pumpkin pie. Some people eat pumpkin pie, don't come for them. Apple pie, all of that. Hope you guys are ready. Hope you guys got your stomachs ready, and then going back on that detox once it's over, because then we got to get ready for Christmas. But I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you guys enjoy yourselves. Take care of your mental, take care of your physical. And whatever happened into today, leave it into today. Don't bring that shit into tomorrow. Thank you guys for listening. Later.